Aloha. Welcome to TMDR, the Maui Daily Report for Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. I'm Patty Lee. These are some of the stories that may interest you today. Yesterday, we reported a bomb scare on a Hawaiian Airlines plane that was ready for takeoff in San Diego. Today, we have a copycat. A United Airlines Boeing 777 passenger jet headed to Los Angeles with 339 passengers and 10 crew members aboard had to turn around and return to Honolulu after a bomb threat was written on a lavatory mirror. Late last night, it was reported that a single vehicle, a Tesla, burst into flames on Wailea Alanui Drive, fronting the Andaz. The driver was transported to the hospital by medics as the Maui Fire Department struggled to extinguish the fire on the electric vehicle. They had to get fire blankets to see if they could smother it instead. The fire was extinguished about an hour after the initial report. At about 7:30 p.m. last night, a fatal three-vehicle accident on North Kihei Road closed the road from Honoapi'ilani Highway to South Kihei Road. Preliminary investigation revealed that a Honda Civic crossed the double solid lines, struck the back of a pickup truck, and then collided head-on with a Toyota Camry. The operator of the Honda Civic, a 58-year-old Wailuku male, succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The operators of the truck and Camry were both transported to Maui Memorial Medical Center in stable condition. The road reopened shortly after midnight. Speed and alcohol are believed to have been factors. No government campaign finance reform, no automatic voter registration, no gun control, no recreational weed. But Hawaii's 2025 disappointing legislative session wasn't all bad. It ended with some wins for public health advocates. Among the highlights are free school meals with a plan to use locally grown food, funding to improve food stamps or SNAP staffing, increased support for safe routes to school, and funding for a paid family leave study. More bad news for Paia Inn owner Michael Baskin, the target of a sexual harassment lawsuit recently filed by several women and former employees in federal court. Explicit allegations include using drugs and alcohol to try and engage in sex, unwanted touching, inappropriate comments about their bodies, watching porn, a requirement to wear bikinis or skimpier clothes to work, and demanding massages while naked. Plaintiffs are seeking a jury trial and monetary compensation. Baskin's lawyers say that they are confident that the truth will clear their client's name. High school surfing has gotten a boost of nearly $1.4 million from the legislature to cover 2 years' worth of expenses to jumpstart wave riding as an official school sport across the state. High school principals on Oahu are grumbling about how hard it will be to catch the wave. Approval requires more than half of Oahu Interscholastic Association principals. Currently, Maui is the only island with a sanctioned competitive league. Life's a beach. And if you're a former president and first lady, a beachfront palatial estate in Hawaii will do just fine. KHON reports that the Obamas have almost finished remodeling an $18 million mansion on the beach in Waimanalo, Oahu. It was the site of Robin's Nest in the old Magnum PI show and the former home of Jim Neighbors of Gomer Pyle fame. It has 11 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, 2 pools, 2 jacuzzis, and private beach access. In stark contrast to the Obamas, 3/4 of households in Hawaii cannot afford a median-priced home, according to a UH study, and Hawaii has the highest home prices in the nation, around $1 million. Cheaper houses can be found in the Puna and Kau districts in the vicinity of rift zones on the Big Island for under $500,000. Insurance costs are rising, as are condominium fees, which are also the highest in the country. Rents are down slightly, but are still 44% above the national average. Vacation rentals are flat, and nearly a third of short-term rentals in the state are on Maui. The cost of a college education has gotten so out of whack for so long that financially strapped older adults are still carrying student loan debt. Those who stopped paying off their loans suspended during the pandemic could soon be seeing reductions in their Social Security checks. Civil Beat reports that 8,400 adults in Hawaii age 62 or older owe nearly $440 million in federal student loan debt. Starting in June, the U.S. Department of Education is planning to deduct up to 15% of Social Security benefits from seniors who can't pay. According to AARP, this may push kupuna into poverty or homelessness. An inordinate number of Filipinos were injured, died, or severely impacted in the 2023 wildfires. Next Tuesday, the Lahaina Filipino Fire Survivors Association will launch a project to fight for working-class migrants in recovery efforts and provide a voice for immigrant workers and families that lost everything. This initiative from the Hawaii Workers Center will kick off at the Maui Office of Recovery at Lahaina Gateway on Tuesday, May 27th at 5:30 p.m. Visit hawaiiworkerscenter.org for details. A dynamic film-making duo has done it again. Following the success of their boys' love genre feature film My Partner, director Kali'i Grace and producer-director-writer Lance D. Collins' award-winning short My Parents will have its Southwest U.S. premiere at the Houston Asian American Pacific Islander Film Festival on June 2nd. The story follows a high schooler's decision to come out to his parents and features a vibrant ensemble of Maui talent. My Parents won Best Made in Hawaii Short at the Honolulu Rainbow Film Festival. Finally, Dad gets a break. Join Maui Family Support Services for the 18th annual celebration of fathers and families on Saturday, June 7th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Cameron Center Courtyard, 95 Mahalani Street in Wailuku. This event is free, including admission, entertainment, keiki activities, community resources, prize giveaways, and more. It is an invasive fire-adapted tree from Australia called wattle. It sucks up moisture, taking water from surrounding plants, including native species. The Kula Community Watershed Alliance wants to get rid of the fire hazard by cutting the trees and has launched a Wipe Out Wattle initiative this month. According to Sarah Tekula of the Alliance, the ecological identity of Kula is Australian. We want to turn it back to Hawaiian, she said. The much-anticipated Bon Festival, or Oban, returns with summer every year. This is the Buddhist cultural ceremony that honors our loved ones who have passed. During the Oban season, 11 Buddhist temple grounds all across Maui Island will open up to the public for an evening or two of dancing, music, food, and remembrance, featuring the rhythmic beat of taiko drums and Japanese folk songs. The festivals begin June 7 and continue at various missions through August 23rd. Kampimua is now accepting applications for volunteer counselors for its 2025 session, taking place June 7 through 12 in Kihei. Kampimua is a week-long overnight summer camp that pairs children with special needs with youth volunteers for 5 days of unforgettable activities. Beach outings, helicopter rides, horseback riding, dance parties, and more. Space is limited and spots fill quickly. Interested individuals can apply online at discoverimua.com/camp. There's a whole lot of shaking going on the Big Island. A 4.0 magnitude earthquake hit off the coast of Kau at about 9:30 yesterday morning, but no tsunami was generated and no damage was reported. We hear about these quakes a lot, and the outcome is often similar. No damage, no tsunami. Someday, however, that is not going to be the case, and that someday will come. We just don't know when. With airplane mishaps and Teslas on fire in the news, let's go back in time to look at Maui News photographer Matt Thayer's coverage of Aloha Airlines Flight 243, followed by a visit to a Tesla dealership in 2020. Elon Musk was pretty weird back then too. Enjoy.
When I shot Aloha Flight 243, I came back to the newsroom. All of a sudden, the phone starts ringing off the hook. People from around the world want pictures. I had an AP photographer tell me that it was front page of every paper in Asia. The best photo of taken that day was by a passenger. He had the presence of mind to grab his camera and take a picture after he was second person down the chute. But his photo didn't make it out on the wire for 2 days. What happened was this was a structural failure, and so rivets and this section just flew off, and this plane was going from from Hilo to Honolulu, and over Ka'olave this came off. Amazing, they brought it in. The pilots they did a special kind of landing with the flaps, I think with the flaps down, full thrust. It's a very fast landing, but they managed to bring it in so that it wouldn't break apart on landing. I could have covered a fireball at the airport when it landed, but that's not what happened. It was a very fascinating process. They broke it up for scrap, and I remember when they broke the wings off this plane. It was one of the oldest jets in the fleet. It was a Boeing 737, and it just was an older jet, and it was structural failure. And so this changed how America treated what they called the geriatric jets. So this one, after this incident, they started testing for the failure and the rivets. It was like the rivets and something to do with the structure of the steel, just being pressurized so many times, making that hop from Honolulu to the neighbor islands.
Well, a lot of people think that the only way we're ever going to get out of this global warming mess is to ramp up electric cars. That way you're not putting carbon into the atmosphere every time you turn the key. And Tesla is the premier electric car, invented by this guy Elon Musk, who's a bit of a weirdo. He built a spaceship to go to Mars. He thinks we all live in a giant simulation game, and he gave his new baby a weird name, Archangel 12, I think is the name. That's the Model 3. I think that's the cheap one for 35 grand. And here's the Model X, which is the gorgeous gull wing. I don't know, it's about 100 grand, but I heard sometimes the doors get stuck in the up position there, which isn't a cool thing. But Musk is also a strange one when it comes to coronavirus. He's made some crazy comments. He said on March 6th that coronavirus panic is dumb. On March 19th, he tweeted that there would be 0 cases by the end of April, and that 80% of people that get coronavirus don't really have it. There's an 80% false positive, he said. So he's a bit of a strange one. He also defied. Oh, there's the Model 3 right there, the cheap one. He also defied the governor of California's COVID-19 restrictions and opened up his factory early, but the governor gave him a pass because he's doing a lot for green energy, according to the governor. In any case, by all accounts, electric cars are better for the environment than the gas-guzzling variety.
Well, that's it for today's Maui Daily Report. Mahalo for joining us, and please keep watching Akaku channels 53, 54, and 55. You can watch Akaku at akaku.org or on your phone 24/7 with our app, Maui Stream. If you're in transit, listen to TMDR on your radio between 7 and 8 p.m. on KAKU 88.5 FM. This is how we stay connected. I'm Patty Lee, enjoying another fine Maui day in the merry month of May. Hope you are too. Aloha.
Here they are.